All right, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. The season's done. We're kind of in that little 1 to 2 week lull where everybody's kind of licking their wounds before we start talking about coaches and we start talking. Actually, we're talking about coaches now. Before we start talking about players and free agents and rookie rankings and mock drafts and all that kind of stuff. But there's some stuff that we need to clean up before we get to that. We're going to keep making videos. You're going to keep seeing Lions videos every single day from us. And there was something that I thought was really cool. I was on Twitter and I actually reposted this. And if you don't follow Sports Talk Detroit at Sports Talk DET1, like, you got to check this out. Like, you've got to check this out. Give us a follow on Twitter, on X, whatever you call it these days. But I reposted something coming off of Woodward Sports. I'll give them credit too. And they said, talent's not all the Lions are looking for this offseason. Here's what Dan Campbell said on the Lions free agency approach. There's no level of talent worth bringing in if it doesn't fit what we're about. That's a non-negotiable. I love this. I love this. And I think you can even point to times in which this happened during the regular season. Everybody was talking about Ndamukong Suh. Do we bring Suh back? What does it look like? And all that kind of stuff. We ended up getting Tyson Alualu, right? Who ended up playing a lot of football for us and a very clear weakness in that position. And people are like, why didn't we bring in Suh? He didn't fit. In fact, Suh was quoted talking about how he's not going to come up to a place just to sit on the bench and watch. He's here to play. He ended up not playing at all. Ndamukong Suh is a very unique individual. He is a personality that is hard to handle. Dan Campbell's not about that life. He's not about that life. So when you're looking at players this offseason, look for players that either have a personal relationship with Campbell, Aaron Glenn, or Ben Johnson that they know well, or look for players that have just been a solid, I love football locker room guy, because that's the kind of guy that fits in Detroit. It is. So I was talking about this post that I had. There's another one that I put up. All right. And let's just talk about it. All right. Where I said, CJ, I'm sorry, but it is time for you to go. This is simply too much. This is CJ Gardner-Johnson with 2.5, almost 6 minutes left in the second quarter when we go up 20-7, about to be 21, and he's waving goodbye. All right, this is before his cheap shot. All right, this is before his cheap shot on Deebo Samuel, where he helped spur a comeback because of the way he acts. There's a level of swag that's good. But the level of swag that I'm talking about that's good, all right, the level of swag I'm talking about is a Deion Sanders type of swag, where you talk the talk and you walk the walk. All right? Honest to goodness, I hate to say this following this game, but a Deebo Samuel type of swag, where he's out there dying for his team with a bad shoulder, doesn't care, and he's going to go there, but then he gets quiet before the game because he's all about the team. He's all about making sure that that team wins. And I know there's been contract stuff with him and all that kind of stuff. But you need to have that swag. And when you're like, Deion, what are you talking about with Deion? What I'm talking about with Deion is in 1994, he goes to the 49ers. They win a Super Bowl. All right, that defense is phenomenal. In 95, he goes to the Cowboys, brings the same swagger there. They win a Super Bowl. Right? There's a level of being as good as you are and being able to talk a little bit. There's a level to that. CJ Gardner-Johnson is not that. In fact, what I saw of him this offseason or this regular season, I know he only played, 3 playoff games, I think 3 regular season games, so he only got a 6-game taste. He wasn't even that good. Like, he had 2 interceptions, but they weren't like his interception. One was an overthrow, one was a tip. Like, he just was behind the play, which is where he always was, all right? He was getting ready to miss tackles. And I'm not going to make this a CJ Gardner-Johnson hate thread, but I am absolutely going to make this a he doesn't fit the culture. And you see what Dan Campbell said. There's no level of talent bringing in if it doesn't fit what we are about. I think a lot of people get mixed up with this team, and they think that we have, like, if you talk to a casual Lions fan, which I do often, obviously, because a lot of people love talking to me about the Lions. Their belief is a couple of things. They think Aaron Glenn's no good because our defense gave up 34 points to the 49ers, and they think we have a ton of talent on the defensive end. It's not true. We have Hutch. We have Brian Branch, right? And then what? Anzalone has been a pretty good linebacker, like a journeyman linebacker, and then he comes to us, and I know he was with the Saints the whole time, so I guess journeyman's not the right word. And he has had two of his best years, and those make him a starter-level linebacker, barely, right? We have Aleem McNeil, who's fantastic this year. Bring him back. Bring him back. And then what? There's nothing on the outside at corner. All right? You have Ifeatu Melifonwu, who came in and played awesome. I mean, just awesome the last few weeks, the last month and a half, but you're playing C.J. Gardner-Johnson over him because C.J. Gardner-Johnson talks so much if he's going to be the safety next year. He's going to be one of them. Kirby Joseph was not, I hate to say it, he wasn't good this year. There isn't a ton of talent on the defensive side. So we need to go bring in guys that not only have talent, but they also fit the mold of what this team is going to do. There's this belief that this team was 12-5 and made it to the NFC Championship because we are loaded with talent. And we are loaded with talent in a few places. We're loaded with talent on the offensive line. We're loaded with talent in the quarterback room. Like, let's just call it for what it is. I don't know if it's $50 million in talent, but we're loaded with talent in the quarterback room. We're loaded with talent in the running backs room. We have an extremely talented rookie tight end who definitely fits what we're about. And then we are loaded with talent in the wide receiver room in the form of Amon-Ra St. Brown and unproven talent in Jamison Williams. Other than that, it's journeyman wide receivers that were fifth wide receivers on teams that they played for before. But here's the thing. All those guys, Jared Goff, kicked out of L.A. Josh Reynolds, kicked out of L.A. All right? Khalif Raymond, fifth receiver, only punt and kick returner in Tennessee. Graham Glasgow, he's washed up. People don't know if he has it anymore. Great starting right guard. Right? Like, these are David Montgomery. Bears didn't want to pay him. They looked over him for younger running backs. It's not like these are guys who came to the Lions and everybody was like, these are great players, but we knew they fit here. We knew they fit this system, and that's why it worked. And so that's what we did. We had them fit this system. So feeling good about what Dan Campbell's saying because he understands the recipe for success. We did it on the offensive side of the ball. Now it's time to get it done on the defensive side of the ball. Buckle in, strap up. I think there will be offensive signings. We need a guard. We need a second or third wide receiver, all of that kind of stuff. But buckle up for defense this offseason and be excited about it, and we're here for it. All right, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Go to the Twitter and subscribe there too. Why not? Follow us. See ya.